Welcome to Community with Kevin and Manny. How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Community G. My name is Kevin. We have made it to episode number 9, and we're happy to have you guys with us today. And then I have Manny. What's up, Manny? How's it going?
What up? What up? How's it going? Glad to be here. Happy Friday, everybody.
Man, we've made it to another episode. Really happy to be here, like you say. It's been a good week. There's been a little bit of news about the galaxy, so excited to touch about that in a little bit. We do have some other news that, depending how drunk you get, that's how much you're gonna be sharing with us. So let's
Facts,
wait.
facts.
Yeah, let's wait and see how much you're gonna share with us. But how's it
I'm
going?
gonna give a
Anything
big
that,
shout out to right here to Common Corners for I finally got their beer. So you know what? These are IPA, so that shit might get me fucked up real quick. So I might give up a lot today.
yeah, so I think for the people tuning in, the more you give up, the better. But you want to share some stuff that's going on in the Galaxy community?
Yeah, in the Galaxy community, Ed Zombie over there in Riot Squad shut out a tweet. Uh, if you have time to be able to go read it, go read it. We just want to show him that we love him. We're here for him. Whatever he needs from any of us, I'm pretty sure anybody will give out a hand. And stay strong. We love you, and hopefully you get back to the Riot Squad cast sooner.
Absolutely. I think Eddie's a big part of what they're doing over there and what's going on in the Galaxy community with all the podcasts. So I think it's really important to give this time and space to reach out to him and wish him well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Give it a like, give him some encouraging words, and we're here for you, man. Keep going,
I
keep
think
going strong.
that's something that the Galaxy community do well is whenever another G needs that support or that moral support. I think the majority are always there. But you know what, let's go ahead and start getting moving forward. We have two other guests that will be joining us today. So we are gonna be going and bringing them on. So we have Baltazar, and we also have a Galaxy fan, also musician, rapper. That's Arquitekto Verbal. So let's go ahead and start with Arquitecto. How's it going, man?
Yo, what up, man? Everything's good. Shout out to all the G's. Happy early Valentine's to all the ladies out there.
Oh, it's
Good.
enamorado.
Sí.
Hey, you can sing him a song. Hey, you can put your cameo right now, bro. You can put your cameo if you want to put your $5 and sell them and rap them a song. So I'm pretty sure people will get it.
$5 a song right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All money will be donated towards the G. So,
Huevo.
Yes, estamos.
And then we have another good friend of ours, the best right back in Liga G and the best right back that's going to be in Liga Galaxia. That's Baltazar, also known as El Chapín. Hey, Baltazar, ¿cómo estamos? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Might not be the best
Le
right
estoy
back.
diciendo mentiras a la gente, ¿eh?
He might not be the best right back, but he's the right back in my heart. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day.
No.
And today's
today,
episode,
nothing.
we're going to do something a little different. So we're going to be going Spanish, English, a little bit of both. Fun fact, this podcast was intended to be a bilingual podcast, but Manny and I never spoke Spanish in this podcast. So for today, we are going to go with both. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. Arquitecto, how did you become a Galaxy fan, and how long have you been a Galaxy fan?
Man, I probably became like a real like diehard Galaxy fan like probably around 2010, and it all happened because I went to a game with one of my friends, and after that, like I was always like a Galaxy fan, like I've always watched them or whatever, but I was never a fan until I hit the stadium, and then I saw how much people show you love, like and I would always like ever since then I would always sit with the Galactians. I was always with the Galactians and kicking it with them. So Galactians showed me a lot of love, and I was always, on their side right there, chilling.
Big shout out to Carlisa, Ray,
Ray,
all of them over there.
Chris, you know what I mean?
All of them in the Galaxy. Yep.
Yeah.
The OGs.
Yeah, the OGs,
I think
Shown some
that's
love.
really good. And what about you, Baltazar? How did you become a Galaxy fan, and how long have you been a Galaxy supporter?
To be honest, like I was in Guatemala in 2000, like let's say 2005, and like I was knowing about the league here, right? And then after in 2000, I think it was um 1998 when Martin Machon came here to play for the LA Galaxy. So I knew about the Galaxy, you get me?
Mhm.
So now I start follow the Galaxy and everything. And then,
Ahí
but
estuvo a huevo Martín Manchón, ¿no?
yeah, and then after I came to the United States in 2008, and I became a Galaxy heart fan in maybe you could say 2012.
Una pregunta, Baltazar.
Then you found me, ¿no?
Cuando el Galaxy gana su primer campeonato, ¿todavía estás en Guatemala?
Sí, todavía estaba en Guatemala.
Y el gol que mete el Pescadito
¿Con el
Ruiz,
pescadito?
se escuchó eso, la gente supo lo que estaba pasando, or people didn't really care for MLS back then?
Well, you know what? Like, cuando el Pescadito firmó para el Galaxy, I was like to be honest, I'm a municipal fan. You get me?
Ah,
So,
ya
yo le voy al municipal puro rojo. You get me? Yo
Arriba
sé mucho
Sushi.
de fútbol, so.
¿Qué conocen de fútbol ahí? Nada, compa.
And then I became a Galaxy fan because of him too. Because when he came and he started, like when he made that goal, I cried too with him. You get me? Todavía me acuerdo que the jersey that you have, I had 2002 away in Guatemala. It was a fake one, but I was like, it was my como un tesoro para mí. You get me? When he made the goal, I was crying with him too. And
Eres chillón, pues, eres
yeah,
chillón.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's something really good. Like you said, that you had a jersey that wasn't even original, and now that leads you to have that big collection that you have, and we're gonna talk about that shortly. But
Let me hold it for you. I'll sell it for
Arquitecto,
you on eBay. I have a lot of people that want to buy it.
Arquitecto, you were saying that you go to games with the Galaxians and all that, but what's memories that you have from being at Galaxy games? Like, what's one of the favorite games that you've attended?
And like I think I mean like I was watching a few of your other videos and I think everybody just comes back to that LAFC versus LA Galaxy.
I always say don't
Yeah.
include that one because I think that's the
Yeah, I
default.
know,
Yeah,
but
that's a
that's why I
given.
want to
That's
stay
a
away
given.
from that one. That's why I said I want to stay away from that one because that one was just wild. But I mean, everybody brings it up. But personally, I think like it was that last time I saw Donovan play was versus Chivas USA. And I was there, and then they gave him a beat down. You know what I mean? And it was dope. Like, and I was there with my older brother, who I hardly ever like get to see. Or like he's a Galaxy fan too. So I think it would be that night that like me and my brother were watching the game, and I think like one of the last goals, Donovan had the door open. And he could have took the shot, but he decided to give it to Sardes. And then me and my brother just looked at each other like, dude, like you're gonna retire. Like, why did you just take the snap at it? Like, but I guess, like that just proved to show how much Donovan was a team player. You know what I mean? Like he much rather give up the ball and than take it for himself. So I think that was probably one of my favorite moments, seeing the last game between Galaxy and Chivas USA.
He was probably giving the youngster confidence. He was like, "Hey, here you go,
Yeah,
bro. This is
here
you
you
now.
go.
I'm
You know
gone."
what I mean? Yeah. It was, like a pass of the torch type thing.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's something different between Donovan and, let's say, like Robbie Keane. Where I remember Robbie Keane took a tapping that was basically on the line. I think it was gonna be Christian Williamson that was gonna score, and he just takes it. But
Yeah.
Baltasar, contigo, ¿cuál es esa memoria más grande que tienes de ser aficionado de Galaxy?
You cannot say you met me.
That meeting we had.
He's watching this, okay, man?
Okay, wait. Hey, we're being honest, no? Happy Valentine's Day.
The last championship, bro. I remember that I was I was sitting next to ACB that day, and we were in the second row. We went to the stadium at 7 a.m. to get the spot because remember before it was like todo
General
era general,
admission.
you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Like, and we went to the stadium at 7 a.m. and we made the line. We were there. I remember with Scabinitis, we were there like, ooh, forever, bro. But it was London Donovan last game too.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that game. I wasn't gonna go
Oh,
to
before
that
he came
final.
back. Before he came back.
Yeah,
Yeah, bringing back.
that final I wasn't gonna go to. But the night before I was like, how can I not go to a final when it's in my own city? Like all I have to do is buy a ticket to the game. Like it's no airfare, there's no hotel. And I remember last minute I went to a game with my uncle. We sat in the grass berm, so right above where you were at. And I had to call out from work. I remember. So I think it was worth it because I've been able to be at 4 of the 5 championships, and I think those are like my biggest memories.
But
Um,
you know, it's a fun fact. Let's say Baltazar was on the. Let's say he's the one on the left side of ACB, so he was at 122.
Yeah,
I was at 119 on top, and Kevin, you were on the grass beam above me. So we were pretty much all close together, but we didn't even know each other.
and
yeah.
now years
Look at
later,
us
like we
now.
can get it. Like basically, we're pretty good friends, and we can like we've been a grown this connection through the galaxy basically because like we've said it many times. I met Manny in San Jose. I met Baltasar because of Manny, and now and then with pro clubs and everything else, we've been able to build more friendships and connections with other people.
But it's
Y
funny how
ahora
we
no
were
te
all,
dejan en paz.
but we didn't know each other at that time. Now I'm pretty sure there's other people going through the same thing. We're trying to connect that. So, you know, get in here, let us know your story, and somebody will find you.
Like Manny, do you want to share real quick that story that I know you've shared with me about two Galaxy fans that took a picture together and then like I think through pro clubs they reconnected.
Yeah, that was Humberto. Humberto, I don't know how to say that, but I just know him by DJ Herbie Herb, and then Jeff. That he has a couple of pages. He collects a lot of Galaxy and other soccer kits. You know what I mean? He has a good collection too. I think they took a picture in 2014, 12. I'm not 100% sure. You know, they took a picture together. They didn't even know who they were. You know, fast forward 6 years later, they got into the same team in FIFA. Now they're like best friends. But they had the same picture together. They can remember they were at the same place at the same time. They didn't know each other. Now, put them back in the stadium. You know, they might be shirtless walking around. Who knows what they're gonna be doing?
And then Arquitecto, keeping the theme of talking about the G's a little bit more, for you all the time you've been a Galaxy fan, who's been your favorite Galaxy player? And the
Uh,
reason why?
that's kind of a tough one, but
You could
I
give us a
mean,
few.
yeah, that's kind of a tough one. But like for sure. Like I think Donovan has been one of the ones that like I just feel like when you know what I mean, like as a Galaxian, like he just put it down. He had so much heart on the field, and it's really hard to come across certain players like that. And then once again, like I'm Mexican, and it comes back to like I said, Jorge Campos. Jorge Campos, you know what I mean? Seeing Jorge Campos, just the way he played was just so crazy, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Being the goalie and running up on players, it's just
I
we'll
think we
never
had
see
talked.
that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. When
I
will we
think
ever see another goalie do that?
I think we talked about that when we had the neck where it's like, how
Yeah.
much would you pay a goalie to do that now? Like, just grab the
Yeah,
ball and go half court, just doing moves, and then
yeah.
forget about goal.
That
You don't
one,
see that no more. You don't see that no more. You don't see
that
that
one,
craziness.
that one video where he just like loops the ball over the defender, gives the pass, and scores. That was dirty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow. Like,
Bro,
when would you ever
he's
see
a uniform under a uniform. That's
Yeah,
Sunday league
exactly.
shit, bro. That's some Sunday league stuff. Ya llegó el portero. Okay, I'm out.
Like Pavon, like you know what I mean? Pavon has just been putting in so much work for us. I hope he's gonna stay. I mean, I heard rumors that you know what I mean with this whole case that he's fighting or whatever on the side. It might be a little bit difficult, but
Manny's gonna have an update on that later in the show.
I'm not there
So
yet, bro. I'm not there yet. I'm not
yeah,
there yet.
Drink, money, drink.
yeah, the
yeah.
more Manny drinks, the more he's gonna spill. So he's gonna drop some news later,
So if
and
you guys
then
tell me to take a shot in the chat, you know, I'll take it. But you know, but
Yeah.
respect my liver.
And then Baltasar, what about you? Who are those Galaxy players that you would consider your favorite?
You can't be Martin Machon.
To be honest, it was Pescadito Ruiz.
Oh,
Because like I
I didn't
said,
think
I
about
was
that.
a municipal
It's
fan.
like
You
that's
get
a
me?
given right there.
So
For
yeah,
Chapin.
when he came right here, when he came and actually when he made the goal that I repeat, I was crying with him, and he was one of the players that inspired me that you can be something out of your country. You get me? Like you can be something like, and then it's my clear example. You get me?
Hey, you know a funny story about este Pescadito Ruiz? There was a goalie that died in Guatemala that he got hit in the chest by a knee by another
Is it
player.
Dani Ortiz.
Estrada or Ortiz?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Dani Ortiz.
So I used to play for a club called Burbank Red Machine, and we're all Chapines, like, from fathers, you know what I mean, or moms or whatever, parents that were Chapines. So we did a fundraiser on 41st and Compton. They had pupusas, they had empanadas, and all the money was gonna go to that family. And Pescadito Ruiz showed up to the hood. He showed up. He took out some, he signed some balls. He took some pictures. You know what I mean? He did his promo, I guess. I don't know what you're gonna call
Like
it, but he showed
comedian.
up.
You know
Yeah,
what I
he,
mean?
he came out. He was eating. He was participating, and that's when I kind of like, hey, there's a club here in LA that I need to pay attention to, because he's part of my family. He's part of my race. He's part of my blood, and he came out. He didn't have to come out on 41st and Compton. Come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's the
Oh
hood.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he came out, he ate some pupusas, he ate those hot dogs with fucking bacon. You know what I mean? He was participating, and all that money, I think we raised about like $7,000, and all that money went to that family. And you know what I mean?
That's beautiful, yeah. That's real beautiful
Yeah.
for you know what I mean for a star of his like stature. You know what I mean for the Galaxy. It's just like to show that he'll come out to the community and do something like that. That's like one of the most beautiful things, you
And
know.
he's very
That's really
vocal on Twitter, on Instagram, and all that about the Galaxy. When something goes wrong or something's not like based for him, he's very vocal. Like, hey, this is not correct. This is not this, and I respect that, good or bad. And then
Mhm.
he also has some videos out there too, but I don't know about those.
I don't know about those.
You were repeating them, right?
Now we cannot do that here.
And then let's go ahead and transition. Basically, Arquitecto, we know that you are involved in music. Go ahead and let us know what is it that you do.
Well,
And
I basically do what I like to call like bilingual hip hop. Like it's I rap in Spanish, I rap in English, and but it's if you listen to my catalog of music, it's just very versatile. I don't like to stick to one kind of style, but the one thing that I do through my music is that I use a lot of like Spanish and English mixtures. So if you're listening to a song, it's halfway in Spanish, all of a sudden it'll switch on in English or vice versa, or I'll throw in some English words in my Spanish rhymes or some Spanish rhymes. You know what I mean? Just mix it all up. And I like we were having this conversation earlier about how it's I think it's an LA thing. You know what I mean? Like hip hop is about battling. It's about the struggles, and I like to talk about all of that in my music. And I just what I do, I have fun with. I'm not really doing it for the money. It's more for the love. But the money would be dope too at the end
you
of
know,
the day.
I would say that, like, yeah, like exactly what you said. We were talking about earlier. Like, a lot of people place LA as, glamour, as Hollywood,
Yeah,
it's all that, right? But they
right.
forget about the people that like don't have all that. We didn't grow up in all that. We
Yeah, of
don't we
course
don't
not.
live all that. We live on a Spanglish, barrio. You know
Basic.
what I mean?
Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
English, Spanish. You got to
yeah,
learn how to, talk and know where you're at.
yeah.
And based on your music that I've heard, like you touched on that, and that's what I think believe what hip hop is for me personally. I'm like, hip hop
Diversity.
is not just a single bass. It's not this. It is who you are, your story.
Right.
That's what hip
Yeah,
hop is, and that is including
exactly.
salsa, merengue, um, whatever bachata, whatever you want to
Rock.
play.
Yeah,
We listen. I
rock.
listen to
You know what I
everything,
mean?
bro.
Country. Whatever. Yeah,
Whatever gets me drunk, bro, I listen to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
like. That's
You know
who
what
I
I
am.
mean? I grew up listening to hip hop, but you know what I mean? Like overall, like the reason why I like using like Spanish samples is because when I was a kid, like my dad was listening to Jose Jose in the background, you know what I mean? And like Los Temerarios and all that stuff. And you know what I mean? It soaked up on me. It soaked up
Yeah.
on me, like you know, all that. Yeah. You know? So to go back to like
Hey,
becoming an artist now and taking all of that into my music is what I like to do. You know what I mean? Like I
kind of
sample like Jose and all that stuff, you know?
I kind of
It's
felt messed
dope.
up because we're talking about like my mom and all that. He used to sweep to that, wake up on you on Saturday morning. Chapin still does, bro. That's what love. Those are his jams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I like waking up and like hearing that music and then being like, oh wait, that sounds like a dope little break. I think I could sample that and rap over it. You know what I mean? It takes me a minute sometimes to find them, but they're there. You know, like it's definitely like the beauty of our culture and like LA and Latinos. Like we have a lot of flavor. We have a lot of artists. We have a lot of things and that we can use to, you know what I mean, to recreate, to create music. So I think it's in us, you know?
Yeah, I think we don't have no boundaries. I think we could touch.
Yeah,
We're open enough to go through every culture and understand what they're going through or what they've
right.
gone through and stuff like that because we can relate to that. Somewhat, we can figure it out what that culture is about, and we can relate to that as Latinos and to that. And that's what I like about LA. Like we're so diverse that if you don't know something,
Mhm.
it's your fault because there's plenty of people that can explain it to you, and you can go learn about it because we're so diverse.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy to even like think about racism in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Because we're so diverse, we're so used to it that when like they show videos of, like people being extra racist in other places, we're just like, damn, like that shit will not fly here in LA.
No
You know
fly
what I
zone. There's
mean?
a no fly zone out here in racism, bro.
Yeah. Racism is like it's kind of like it's not here. It's not here as deep. It is here. You know what I mean? We still have our little problems, but it's only like a certain few people. It doesn't go as hard as it is other places because they're not used to the diversity that we have here. You know what I
You
mean?
know,
They're stuck on in the past.
correct. And I'm saying for racism and stuff like that, or shit that people are close-minded, get yourself a fucking 12-pack. You'll find yourself plenty of friends.
Yeah,
Fuck, you open one up, a lot of
exactly.
motherfuckers will show up out of nowhere. What's up? What's up? You got a drink? You got a drink or what? Shit, that shit will show. Me and Chapin will be there real
Exactly.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Once you hear
in.
the beer crack open, what's up?
And then Balthasar, I want to touch about how did you start collecting Galaxy jerseys and about how many do you have right now?
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how many I have because I have like doubles, triples. Some of them I have like five of the same jersey.
Galaxy
But
Rich.
the first one that I bought is this one. That's why I bought it. I wore it today. This is the one that I bought. Funny history. It was like the guy that was selling this one. He was selling with tags. You get me? And I saw it in an app. And when I saw it, it was like $450. And I'm like, what the fuck? I like this jersey. You get me? And I asked him, hey, how much you want? Like, and he's like, well, 450. And I'm like, what's the best price that you can give me? And he's like, 200. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll give you 70. And he's like, nah,
No
bro.
mames, güey.
Hey, come
El
on,
Chapit
bro.
pensó que estaba en el
Hey,
mercado allá en
Oye,
Guate.
ese güey miró su fucking
Güey, cerote,
bank account. Like, it doesn't have 400. Like, no mames,
mira,
70.
te voy a enseñar a negociar, cerote. Mira. And he's
A
like,
ver tus secretos, a ver tus
he's like,
secretos.
Hey, wait,
he's
but
like,
he went from fucking 450 to 200. That's a
Which,
giant
yeah,
gap, bro.
yeah, that's why I told, that's why,
Se brincó un
hey,
chingo, like, you know?
hey, come
Sí.
on, bro. I come from Guatemala, you get me? So I know, like, I used to be in the street selling the stuff right there. You
Andaba
get me?
regateando.
So I have
no,
that
man.
shit, you get me? And I'm like, I give you 70, bro. And he's like, nah. And I'm like, how much you want? Like, he's like, give me 150. And I'm like, I give you 90, bro. That's all I have. Come on. And he's like, okay. You know, he was living in, he's living in Fontana, bro. And he dropped it to East LA.
He's still
Hey, he still brought it. Puta. Hey, mira, here's the real question. Here's the real question. You gave him $90. How did you make up the other one to make up for that 450? ¿Le dices un beso? Okay.
No, espérate. Pura paja. Huh?
So Balthasar, because I always tell you when I'm gonna buy a jersey, and you tell me like, nah, like I don't pay more than X amount of dollars, and I think this story kind of tells us because everybody's trying to get their jerseys, paying 200 or whatever, or like for example me, they were selling me a jersey I wanted, I think it was like $200, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna find it again, but you're like, nah, if you're patient, you're gonna find it. So, what advice do you give Galaxy fans that are trying to buy throwback jerseys?
Just you need to be patient. You get me? You need to start like every like not every 5 minutes, but like every hour, every like you have an app. Everyone knows the apps where you can buy them, right? So you just need to check every hour. Like when you have lucky, you're gonna get one. You get me? And it's gonna be your size, and it's gonna be for you. So that's the only advice that I can give them. Because
And
I've been
Cuando estás buscando jersey, cuando estás buscando jerseys, let's just say you're on this. Okay, I want to get the 98. I want to get the 98. I want to get the 98, and you get the '01 for cheap. Oh, do you recommend them to buy that '01 and forget about the 98 and then come back to the 98, or do you recommend them like, hey, just stick to the 98 until it comes out?
You know what? Like when you buy a Galaxy jersey and it's like old one, you get addicted to it. You wanna buy more and more and more and more, and it doesn't matter. Like you know what? My girl saw my jersey collection is like puta otra camisola, and I'm like, come on, va a ser la herencia para mi hija.
Hey, dog, you have a lot of money sitting in your deposit, bro.
Yeah, right. And it's like, and I
Con esto pagamos la renta.
cuando no tenga dinero las voy a vender, voy a pagar la renta. You just need to be patient. You get me? Like, and knowing like you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You just need to be like searching every time, like to see when you can find it. You get me? Like if the advice that I can give them is like if you see a post that it has more than 1 month there, go to that guy, talk to him, and it's like, hey, how much you want? And he's gonna be like, oh, what's the best price you can give me? And they're gonna be like 200, and they're like, come on, bro, you have 1 month already with this jersey here, so I'm just gonna give you 100. They gonna you go for it.
uh,
I'm gonna give a creation to anybody that's good at computers or doing apps. If you make a Galaxy trading jersey or a Galaxy sell app, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a
A
bunch
big
of
market.
subscribers.
Yeah.
I thought about it, bro.
Yep,
I already thought about
people
it.
can just trade or sell to each other, and they don't have to go pay that $350 or $500 at eBay. You guys can trade G's for G's right there, trading.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
copyright
no
that shit.
fakes. They won't
no,
give you
Maybe a little bit fake, no fakes.
when I have a kid, I'm gonna get Chapin to be the padrino so he could pass down the jerseys. You get me? Um, but
I have
Puta,
to.
ya tenés maña, loco, ya tenés maña.
Don't worry.
and then Arquitecto, I want to touch about your music a little bit. I heard some stuff that you sent over to us. What inspires you to include the galaxy within your music?
I mean, dude, like I've always been a big soccer fan, like you know what I mean, and just the fact that like I'm from LA and this is the Galaxy, like this is something that I've always done. Like if you've heard my music thoroughly through like the years, like you can always like hear punchlines in there here or there that are soccer related, you know. So after like when last year when I really wanted to like I really wanted to put out this CD for the Galaxy, and I really sat down and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do like some very like creative type of music with it because the CD right now is 5 songs deep, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay that way. And 2 of those songs are more of a type of song where we can listen to it while we're at the tailgate because like you know what I mean, when you're at these tailgates, you're at the show, we're listening to other things. Like it's cool, but it'd be dope to be listening to something related to what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I felt that we needed to take this direction, and so I decided to do it that way. And I didn't want to also get too into like the boom bap hip hop that I'm like so used to doing because that it's pretty dope, but it's not really like an audible like, hey, let's kick it at a party and play this. So I've been to parties, and you know what I mean? And they're like, hey, play your music. And I was like, hey, this is not the type of music for this party. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to dance to. It's like, you know what I mean? But it's more to listen to and pay attention to it. But I wanted to put out 2 tracks specifically for this. You know what I mean? For us to be at these games and bumping it and listening to it on the way to the games. You know what I mean? Because like when we're on the way to the games, like when we were driving, this is when the idea really came. When we were going to that LAFC versus LA Galaxy at home, we were like listening to music, and I was like, dude, like, wouldn't it be dope if like we were listening to something related to the game while we're on our way there, like, you know? And this is where the idea really like flourished. And so I decided to, you know what I mean, put in some work for it. You know, I made it 5 songs deep because I kind of ran out of players to keep mentioning because I was starting to like recycle names. And so it was like, okay, so I want to keep it kind of short and sweet, you know, and it was fun, you know, it was fun to like, you know, go in there. And right now my brother's actually like in the works of mixing the project. It'll be done. The whole idea behind it was to release it a few days before home opener, you know, so we can have that.
That song is a banger, bro. I like it. I like that shit. I had a little teaser for it. I play that shit. I like it.
The riot at the tailgate. That's one of the that's definitely one of the ones. And hopefully, man, like I said, this music is for the G's, and hopefully maybe the Galaxy will appreciate it and maybe even throw it or do something with it. That'd be dope too, you know, like the next move that like I really want to, and I'm like really looking into how to get my music there, is to get it on FIFA. I want to see if I can get on FIFA, you know what I mean? Or if anybody can like help me out with trying to get in some of this music on FIFA, that'd be fucking great.
Hey, we can get this shit on Liga G.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's do that. You know, wherever the G's want to take it. You know what I mean? It's for you guys.
Liga G still good?
Yeah, soundtrack. You know what I mean?
I know somebody in Liga G, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So ultimately, like, I mean, like it's for you guys, it's for anybody that, you know, that you know, supports our club and loves our club, and you know, this is my input into the club right now, you know.
I have another question too. I've noticed a lot of your videos and stuff like that you rock Galaxy gear at your shows, at your battles, and is that something you do purposely, or is just something natural that you're like, hey, you know, this is who I am?
It's both. It's something I do natural because I rock Galaxy gear like almost, you know what I mean, 3 to 4 times out of the week. And when I go to shows, like I wear it because I know the cameras are there. You know what I mean? So I wanted, you know what I mean, to give something to come back to. So if we ever take some of those scenes out of those videos to use for this new work that I'm doing, like, you know what I mean, we can definitely use that. You know, it was you know, planned subliminally, you know, and I'm always out here representing for the Galaxy. Like, I'm from LA, this is where I'm from. And no matter, even when I'm at shows, like I'm at shows and I'm wearing Galaxy gear, I'll run into a LAFC fan and they'll be like, you know what I mean? Talking shit, we'll talk shit right back. Like, you know, I don't
no, but that's something that I actually brought up in one of our meetings with our FO, right?
Yeah.
And, I had a little bit more IPAs than I did now. But I told him, like, we rep every day. That's just natural for us. It's not like game days. It's not every other day, or it's not just because I'm going somewhere. No, this is my natural everyday clothes. And I like that about you. I see a lot of your battles. You're rapping, you know, 1, 2 threads. You're rapping Galaxy gear. You're rapping, you know, everything. It's tight.
I got that right there too. You know
huevo. A ver. ¿Qué le falta? Huevo. These other 2 fools need one.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're working on that. But Arquitecto, I had a question, because I like the fact that you drop in players, and like sometimes it's players that I had not forgot about, but it's not players that we think about like right away when we think about the Galaxy. Like I heard you drop Marcelo Zaragoza, not Marcelo Saros, but Zaragoza. So I think that's really cool, because that kind of touches on how long you've been a Galaxy fan. Because who knows, Marcelo Zaragoza is not like the casual, like not everybody knows him. So I think that's really cool. But now let's fast forward to, let's say, when we go back to the stadium and things go back to normal. would you like to maybe like play at the tailgate your music or something like that?
Dude, I'll do any of that. Like I'm willing to like perform or whatever at the tailgates, whatever you guys want to do. Like I'm with that. I was talking to my homie Chino, who's actually in the house right now, who is one of the guys who like helps me film videos, and we wanted, you know what I mean, to get a shot with everybody at the stadium. You know, if we can get the camera in the stadium, that'd be even flyer. Like, you know, but we're trying to work on the videos for this 1996 album, and basically we have two ideas already, and we're working on how we're going to get all this done, you know, especially right now with, like I said, the struggles with the whole COVID thing going on. Like, would we be able to, you know, film this shot at this spot? We don't know, but we're still like, you know, considering it, and if not, we're going to have to take another route, but it's still going to work. We still can get a flyer going where we can try to get everybody to go meet somewhere to do something, you know, and that's ultimately the goal. Like, you know, to keep moving it, you know.
Yeah, let us know wherever we can help. We're happy to help. And sometimes we know somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But but whatever we can help at, any G, all of us are more than welcome to help.
And Chapin is ready. He's the model of the Galaxy Outlaw, so Chapin's ready for a music video.
We're gonna have to take all those jerseys out of your closet, bro.
Don't worry, bro.
He said everybody can wear one, so you get to keep it.
Yeah, you get to keep it,
bro. I'm just gonna have to put number each of them.
Yeah, count them. If one of them goes missing, I'm sorry, bro.
Okay, now I have a pregunta, Chapin. Is there a jersey in your collection that you are not going to sell or let anybody ever wear it or touch it? Que esas valoras por vida. Que
there is two.
Que te lo ponen en la tumba.
Yeah, there is two. There is the 2006 Landon Donovan that I have. It's like in the 2002 away. I don't let anyone to wear them.
Is there a jersey in your collection that you don't have yet, like throwbacks?
Yeah, there is like actually in my collection I'm missing like maybe like six, 7 jerseys. Like, and I know someday I will get them, and it's gonna be soon.
Hey,
because I keep looking for them.
Tienes dobles, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I know.
Dobles. Hey, whoever has those 6 or 7 maybe don't have the ones you do. So you never know. Trade or give me some money and I'll pick it up from you and I'll go jump it off to that person.
Yeah.
And then which is your favorite jersey? Like, is there a jersey in a specific year that's your favorite Galaxy jersey?
The one that I'm wearing right now.
That one?
This one. Yeah.
Are you happy que throwback to be like that?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna buy like 5 of them so I can sell them like in $300 or $400 like in 10 years.
That's my mom.
Hey, buy 6, buy 6, and you get me one as my wedding gift.
Hey, buy me one for Valentine's
Day. Buy it first.
Buy me one for Valentine's Day.
I know, man.
And then Arquitecto, I want to ask you the same question. What about you? Like, which is like your favorite Galaxy jersey? Like, it could be any. It doesn't have to be a throwback, but any Galaxy jersey that you like.
Yeah, you just bought one, right? You just got one, right? That you fixed. Give me a shout out that he fixed it for you.
Yeah, that's Double D, man. That's probably my favorite jersey. But if I'm gonna pick one, I guess the new one that's about to come out. That thing looks so fly, dude. I'm waiting for that. It looks like the one he's wearing right there.
I need my 5 stars though.
Yeah, the 5 stars.
Rumors have it that it'll be out next week sometime.
Yeah. They said that if you get the Cosmos Valentine's Day gift, you're guaranteed one already.
Hey, but that thing's like $500. That Cosmo thing is $500.
I thought about it because it was like $500, but you get a exclusive bottle of wine, which is probably $100, and then another $100 on the jersey. But then again, like $3 other $100 are going.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to Cosmo. He took that shit serious. That Galaxy Rich hashtag. That fool took that shit serious, and we're like, nah, we're Galaxy broke, motherfucker. Okay, get it. Relax. It's fucking tacos, man. We used to pay $2 tacos, man. 3x5. That's what we're used to.
Yeah.
Aquí los venden a $1.
No, 1.25.
Esas madres son de caballo, loco, no los voy a comer.
And then this New Jersey got me thinking about like Galaxy and culture. Right now in the locker room there's no culture. So when I mean Galaxy culture or G's culture, I mean like in the with the fans. Arquitecto, to you, what is Galaxy culture? Like Galaxy fan culture.
I mean, Galaxy fan culture is just basically what you guys are trying to do. You know what I mean? Like trying to unite. You know, when they came up with the whole concept behind Victoria Block, like it seems like a very good concept, you know? But can we really unite? And that's really up to us, you know? And at the end of the day, like if you guys want to be from a certain set and not want to be part of the Galaxy culture, I think that's where the mistake is made, you know? Like we gotta be all one. And I think that's what it ultimately is. You know, at the
And
end of
to
the day, it's just everybody just be real with each other, be homies, help each other out. Like that's what it is.
and to touch on that, like being part of Victoria Block and being part of Galaxy Outlaws, the newest supporter group that's out there. You have the Galaxians, the OGs. You have Riot Squad 2001. You have ACB coming out 2007. Um, and I think we are that now. I don't know. I can't speak prior
Yeah,
to me. I cannot speak nothing of that. But like all of us get along. All of the presidents get along. All of our groups interact with each other. We're you know, and everything with tailgates, Instagram, Twitter. We're a big family, and that's how it feels. And I don't care personally. I don't care if you rep Galaxy Outlaws, ACB, Galaxy, or Riot Squad. If you're a G, you're good in my book, bro. That's it. That's all I care
right.
about. That's all I
There
care
should be
about.
no
That
there
you're
should
a
be no
G.
difference.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there
That
should
you're
be
out
no difference.
there to be a part of us and a part of our community, and that's what it matters. And if you want to get engaged, all of these groups are awesome. All of the groups are awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
reach out to
It's
them, be a
it's
part
just
of
I
them.
guess yeah, it's just I guess who you know and like who you're like, you know what I mean, your immediate people are that bring you into this that you belong to, but at the end of the day you belong to all of us. You know what I mean? Like we all belong to each other. Like we're all homies. We're all ready to show love or at the end of the night. So that's the beauty of it, you know, and it's gotten a lot more deeper over a few more years, you know, now that like Victoria Block is actually becoming a thing. It's a really good concept, like I said, and it's working for us, you know. Even before that, like I felt like, you know, not animosity, but it was just kind of like, oh, you're from there, that's cool, you know, we're all good. But now it's feeling like, oh, we're all the same one, you know, like it's coming together way more better.
I think I think COVID helped us out with that too, though, because we were
Yeah,
like that in pre, and now we're more. I think we all talk to each other. We're part of
yeah,
different group. Like us, we're part of Galaxy Outlaws, but
yeah,
we also play with ACB members and pro clubs. We play with Riot Squad members and pro clubs. We play with
yeah,
Galaxians, pro clubs. It's like we're becoming like getting to know each other way more than I don't think that at the stadium it would have
yeah,
made us justice because we're so different from different sides. But
exactly.
now it's like I think we're a rock and
Yeah.
we're awesome. We're
Yeah, it was totally dope because I went to my first away game last year to Utah to watch Salt Lake City, and I went with one of my best friends. We went to Vegas, and then we caught a plane the day of the game from Vegas to Salt Lake, and when we got there, we were like the only two. You know what I mean? It was just us, and we got to the hotel room real quick, dropped everything off, and there was a Galaxy fan at that same hotel, and he saw us, and he approached us like we knew him, and we were cool. Like, hey, what's up, bro? How's it going? You know, like it was just so much love. You know what I mean? Right away, it wasn't no like like ignoring each other or whatever. Like how
it's
you
away
would,
days, bro. It's
yeah, it
away
was
days. Away days
yeah,
is if you want to be in any type of friendship or anything
yeah,
you want to do, recommend away days because away days is only whether it's 5, 10, or 300. It's
yeah.
only you guys
No,
against the whole stadium. You
yeah.
know what I mean? That same we had a member from Galaxy Outlaws went to Utah,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, you went?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Who are you with?" He's like, "I'm by myself." I'm like, "You know what? let me reach out to a couple of people that I know that are going from ACB, from
I
Riot
think
Squad.
I
I'm
think I
like,
ran.
hey, this is my boy.
I think I ran into him. I think he was the only outlaw there. If it was,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was.
because we ran into
And
each other. Yeah, for sure. We were all at the sitting in the seats or whatever, but we were chanting or whatever. But we were like walking around like, oh, where are you from? You know, and he was like, oh, I'm an outlaw, and I was like, oh, we're Galacticos. But he's like, I'm the only outlaw out here, and I was like, oh shit, you know.
he came from Maryland. He was coming back to LA, but instead of coming straight to LA, he stopped at Utah. And so
Oh damn.
I reached out to a couple of ACB members that I
Mhm.
knew that were going, and they treated him like family. Everything like, hey, he was like, hey, now they're like friends. I'm like, hey, that's what's up. That's what we're
Yeah,
about. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
And to continue on that story, it was crazy because, like I said, once we got to the stadium, we got there, and dude, it was so crazy that right there in Utah, we walked into the stadium, and then as we walk in, nobody checked our tickets. Like, you know, we're like, yeah, we should never paid for these tickets. Like, we walked right past the security, and they were just like, go in, we don't care, and they walked.
People, that's it. People are waiting for the first home opener.
Mhm.
You know which one I'm waiting for? The first away day that
Yeah,
we're good to
yeah,
go. You know how that plane's gonna be like fucking Soul Train like this,
yeah,
bro.
dude.
That should be popping on in the middle of the fucking air. Fucking party packs to everybody, bro. Everybody's gonna be ready to
With
just
the
get
tech
fucked up
green.
and go have fun.
It's so addicting to go to those away games because that's the first time I ever went, and I wanted to go back so bad to like, you know what, like I'm gonna start going to these away games. But you know what I mean? This whole thing just locked us down. So hopefully, like, you know what I mean, next year we can start going to those away games because, like I said, it's just the love is so dope. Like after the
Go
game,
to a weekend one. Go to a weekend one. You show up Friday, you party. Go
yeah,
to the game Saturday. You go to the game. Then you party at night. You show up on Sunday at the airplane. Everybody's dead, man. Everybody's dead
oh
going
yeah,
back home.
hey, so
You know what I mean? Like you don't
to,
sleep at all.
yeah, to
Yeah,
continue the
porque no
story.
están casados, loco.
It gets fucking crazy because like I mean when we're going out or whatever the game ends, and then so we're like asking like, so where's everybody gonna go after the game, you know what I mean, where's it at? And then they were like, oh, some of the ACB members were like, we have an Airbnb in such part of town, like if you guys want to come through, pull up. We pulled up and it was just a bunch of ACBs in there. All the people that were at the stadium were there, and we were just all chilling, drinking, you know what I mean, having a blast, bro.
That's what it's about, baby. That's what it's about.
Eventually, like it was cool. Like, all right, we left, and then the next morning, when we went to catch our flight. All those same foods were there. Like, you know, all of us were in the same plane, and so we get on. We're like, oh shit, what's up? And you see all these foods all hang over, like in the fucking bed in the waiting rooms, and they're like, damn, I should have never drank that much last night. But everybody's just chatting it up.
That's
And,
just funny.
and to just end it right here, it was crazy because when we got our seats, bro, we were all sitting together in the front of the plane, like towards the front of the plane. We were all right back to each other, and they're just cracking jokes the whole ride. Like everybody's just talking shit, like, you know, and it was just such a dope experience at the end of the night, you know, like just to, and I went along with my friend, you know what I mean? I could just imagine what it is like when everybody's out there, like, you know what I mean? Once everybody, you know, gets to know each other and it's just like, hey, what's up? So I see you, you know what I mean? It's dope. Like,
That's
such a fun
it.
experience.
Just to touch on that, like I think my first away was San Jose, but I went to Houston. Once I got off the car, like they dropped me off to get on the airplane. I already saw like 3 Galaxy fans ahead of me, and everybody's rocking their Galaxy gear and everything. They're like, "Oh my god, like this shit's gonna crack." As soon as you pass the the boarding thing, wherever they check you, you start walking up at the bar. Nothing but Galaxy fans there, just like waiting for you. Like, here's a drink. Let's get this party going. You're waiting for your seat. You get to your plane, then you see Galaxy fans running you. Hey, who wants a party pack? Let's get this shit going. It's 3 hours of flight of just having fun. Maybe the flight back, everybody's hungover, but you're going over there. That's just badass, bro. You land, you hit the bar. You don't even go to your Airbnb. You don't go to your hotel. You go to the bar.
You go to the bar at the airport.
We went to the bar with our luggage once we landed on Houston, and we were like, oh man, maybe they're not gonna let us in. There was a bar. They're like, nah, we let you guys in. Fuck it. Everybody had the luggage, the carry-ons, everything like that. Everybody was still partying till like 3 a.m. We woke up, fucking show up at the bar again at 10 o'clock. Went to the game at 1. Came back to the bar. On Sunday, everybody was falling asleep back on the plane coming back. But the whole fucking weekend is badass.
Yeah, sounds like a dope experience, honestly. And I had a very good one with that whole Utah trip. It was one of the best times, and like I said, I felt like I want to go back and like start traveling and going to away games because it was just such a good night.
I know that Chapin quería ir San Jose this year, and we had planned it too, huh?
I was gonna go to San Jose this year, but with all this pandemic, we cannot go. But I hope this year or next year, as long as we save, we can go soon.
We're gonna kidnap that fool. We're gonna take that fool. We're gonna do like I think Bob and Mario from Lars, they did like a road trip to Atlanta. They took like the whole week off and they went like through the whole fucking from LA all the way to Atlanta and came back. So that's pretty badass. So we're gonna do that to Baltazar. Va a llegar todo muerto.
Let's go to Seattle, bro.
Yeah, and that Seattle or that Portland game, that's just gonna be dope. Let's take that road trip.
I think if you ask a lot of the Galaxy fans where they like going to away games, a lot would tell you Portland. I went to Portland and I liked it. It was good. And I think for Galaxy fans, that's one of the favorite cities to go see the G's play. But you know what? Before we transition to something else, I wanted to see if you wanted to play some of the stuff that you are working on.
All right. Yeah.
Play that banger, baby.
You guys want to hear that one? Okay, let's go with that. And if you guys have time for another one, I'll play the one in Spanish, the Victoria block. So,
well, call it how it is.
So this one I'm about to play right now is called Right at the Tailgate. Another thing about this album is that every song has a name after a supporter group. So it's the first one is called Home Opener. Then the second one is called Victoria Block, and then after that, it's like it's called Outlaws, Angel City Brigade, Right at the Tailgate. So it has involvement with all our supporter groups. So yeah, I'm gonna play right at the tailgate. So here you go. Yeah, Los Angelinos. Let's hit the stadium. Welcome to the tailgate. La carne asada, las cervezas in palm base. Throw on a jersey and represent for LA. Let's keep it pushing through the 110 on the freeway. So bring the soccer bomb. We getting at the soccer moms. Politic with dojis. Waiting till the game is on. 121. Sit behind the goalie barn. Sunday night soccer. Call me when the game is on. Gotta put the flags up. Hold it with the mask up. Cosmo in the galaxy. We about to blast off. Oh yeah, it's about to be lit. In the sky with the fireworks to go with a chip. We about to meet your ladas, come and give me a sip. Gotta show me some love, come and chill for a bit. Seen her go for the fame, throw a hat with a trick. So don't go for them lanes, be a G with a squid. 9-6. Remember we the veterans, trying to be a better man and mastering the elements. So judge us by a melanin, the color of our city is what really makes us sell again. Kicking with them aliens. Y vamos a pasarla bien con la camisa de 100 fuegos, gotta rock his hand. I chill with all my friends. I'm getting high in the sky with the aliens. This is how I represent LA City native. Never gonna hate it. Take another shot like the goalie don't save it. 5-time champions, we the ones that made it. Sipping on the cup, you know that we crave it. Oh yeah, it's about to be lit. Have you jumping out your seat when we score on them quick? Drink Modelos with Modelos, that's the finest of chicks. Looking fly in the stadium, the Galaxy kick. Now let's chant for the team. Come and sing for a bit. Seen a goal from the jet over bicycle kick. Gotta hold up a flag, blue and yellow with this. We just celebrate goals. Keep it deep for the kids. 9-6. Remember we the veterans. While we keep it relevant. Don't judge us by our melanin. The color of our city is what really makes us elegant. You know that I'm a gentleman, winning it with elegance. So yeah, that's.
I can see that shit playing in the fucking Cita right there, bro. After the game, fuck, that shit gonna be fire, bro.
Yeah. So that's the
Bro, la
right. Okay.
salsita.
Yeah, you got to throw in, the Hispanic feels. Like I said, like LA and the whole like Latino thing. I had to do something like that, then, So it was definitely my intention to do that, And at the end of the day, it was something that I wanted to hear at like the tailgates, when we go to the tailgates, like, and we're chilling, just like something for that,
It's funny that like a lot of people think that they've made it when they're big names on social media, on fucking MTV, whatever the fuck that shit's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm like, you made it when you're local talent and local people know you.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck, this fool's badass. I know who he is. He grew up fucking 10 blocks away from me, and his songs are bumping. And where they're supposed to be bumping, they're supposed to be bumping at the tailgate. They're supposed to be bumping 4Gs. They're supposed to be bumping at the stadium.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to make music for us. I understood that there is nothing like that out here. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like music directed towards us. So I wanted to do something for us. For us, for G's to be bumping it, and
I love it.
Yeah, that was
I think
it.
I think a lot of G's once you drop it officially.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully they
To
show
the
me some
G's,
love. Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think a lot of G's are gonna be bumping that shit because
Yeah.
I like that shit. I could do a little fucking 1-2 step on that motherfucker and then
Yeah.
rap
So
on that
we
shit.
were thinking about that. We were thinking about that for the music video. You know what I mean? Get them girls, get them guys dressed like G's, and just what I mean.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, but Chapin, he's almost like a Dancing with the Stars type of player.
Oh, let me find out. Vamos a poner el Chapín ahí a bailar en el video.
Sí, a huevo. Hey, directamente de Guatemala, papá.
Dame 5 cervezas para aflojar el cuerpecito, loco, y después te vas
ya tú sabes.
Después de 5 ya afloja lo que quieras.
Vale. But yeah, man, you guys want to hear another one, Victoria Block? I'll put that one on. Yeah. So this is Victoria Block. This is basically like I kind of wrote it from a perspective of like how I feel when I walk into the stadium and I see these players play. And at the end of this song, I mean, I give a shout out to all the supporter groups. So here it is. LA, stand up, yo. Al estadio, mi juego es de contrabando. Cristian Pavón burlándolo por los mandos. Soy un católico rezándole a los santos. Un legendario, me respetan por los campos. Check, después mi estilo le check. Le disparamos como Zlatan, no se libra otra vez. 100 juegos para tu punto como David Correct. Hat-trick, Landon Donovan, me quita el estrés. Un general de 5 estrellas en la guerra MLS. Soy Van Damme en el campo defendiendo mi ser. Hoy banda con la galaxia en The City of Rep. Alexis Lala con la barra y este flow que tú ves. Check. Ahora levanten una copa como Jazz y Sardés. Soy Bruce en la arena, parece ajedrez. Un tiro libre para Beckham para acabar en la red. 1996, we be the illest. 1996, 1996, we be the illest. 1996, 1996, we be the illest. 1996, 1996, 1996. Victoria Block, 96 elections. Angel City Brigade, 121, LA Riot Squad. With outlaw, where you at?
But they say they're coming.
LA, where you at?
Hey, bro, put that shit on a t-shirt. I will buy that motherfucker right there. 1996, we the illest. I will buy that shit, bro. Put that shit on a t-shirt. You can trademark that shit to yourself. I will buy that shit.
I'm trademarking that shit tomorrow.
1996, we the illest. Oh, fuck, that shit's a banger, bro. Fuck that shit.
Hey, that's an idea you gotta run with. Like Manny said, I think I will be another one to buy it, and I'm pretty sure the G community will like that as well.
Yeah, they will support you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. You had me fucking. Oh my god, bro. I want to start hitting the drums. I want to fucking
Ani
get
se
in
está
the
ganando, loco.
I want to fucking cheer. I want to do something, baby. I want to do something. You know, like damn, I'm with the illness. Hell yeah.
No te desnudes, loco.
Yeah,
Calmado, calmado.
you know, like
No, hey, bro. Hey, your perspective of rap right now that you're going through with the G's, I love it.
yeah, thanks,
I'm all
man.
in, bro. I'm all in.
Like,
Like I say, whatever our group can do to help you, reach out. You know, you're pretty much
appreciate it.
talking to us, and fuck, that shit's fire,
Yeah.
bro. Those two songs are fire. I can't wait till that shit drops, bro. I'll buy that shit. You got 20. I'll give you $20 right now, bro. You got your mixtape.
Hey,
I,
I have a question. Where
uh-huh.
we can buy it, though?
Okay, so if everything goes well, it'll probably be like on all media platforms. So if whatever you want to get it, you can probably gonna be able to find it. So
I
I'm gonna
usually
put
get my shit at the Slots and Swap Me, dog.
oh, then I'll just mail you. I'll just mail you one, bro. I'll mail you a copy. Cause yeah, so I know like this is, you know what I mean. This is gonna be something, and I'm probably gonna print 100 copies for reals, like physicals, and I'm gonna put the message out there. Like whoever wants them, I'll put them out for sale, like 100 physical copies. But I'm pretty sure like if everything goes well, like I said, it'll be on all media platforms. Like all my music is already on iTunes, on Google or whatever. But like I said, I still got to work on to see if the samples are going to clear, because I have 2 songs there that you know, it's sample is Hector Lavoe. So I'm talking to Fania Records, which is his record label, and they're definitely going to want to cut up my money. So, but I'm willing to fucking pay them whatever they need. You know what I mean, to put this out, because
We're Galaxy Rich, baby.
yeah, we're Galaxy Rich, like, you know. So that's it. That's it. I'm gonna fucking have to sell some of my jerseys, so I'm gonna hit up Chapin like, hey, fool, I need some money to put this CD out, fool.
Puta, Chapi, ya eres agent.
But at the same time, everybody says $70 para el campos que tengo ahí, fool.
This is definitely something I think our group will like to collab with. Whatever you need from us.
Yeah, no, thanks,
You know
guys.
what I mean?
Thanks, you guys.
Once you played our first song, we were like, "Fuck, this is LA. This is us. This is who we are." Also, we're like, you know, we had a cousin fail not that long ago. Like, hey, this is who we are. This is LA. This is LA rap. Like, you know, what I mean, this is LA rap. This is us. This is not like those media shit that's pushed or nothing like that. This
you know what I mean? Like the G's, like respects to cousin fail, dude. Like when I heard cousin fail, I was like, dude, like this motherfucker is raw. Like he's on point. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's just like trying to create the subculture for the hip hop and soccer fusion, that was like I said, I've always incorporated my music, and I've always used like soccer punchlines in there, but he went the extra mile of creating like, you know, soccer rap, and it's fucking dope. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Match day, that Death at the Derby, dude. Like I own the vinyl of Death at the Derby because I couldn't believe that actually somebody was out there doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's mad love, you know? Death at the Derby.
Como dice Cousin Feo, our love is eternal.
Yeah, love is eternal.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? We support G's, bro.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Hey, did you guys hear that?
And I believe
that Cousin Feo, El Traficante, where they did the LA Galaxy versus LAFC.
I've heard little pieces of it,
okay,
but
yeah,
man,
it's a good song. He has the song, you know what I mean? He has the Galaxy versus LAFC track. That's pretty dope. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh shit. Actually got
I'm saying you guys are touching I think you guys are touching like you said, he's touching that, and you're touching also with a G's, and that shit hits hard. Like, you know, we can listen to the lyrics, and it makes like it goes to us every day.
For you guys.
Like, you know, oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. This is like, hey, this is our song. This is for us because we rep this shit every day, and somebody's rapping about this shit.
Yeah.
Como cuando
that's what's badass.
La novia y escuchaste Merario, loco.
Yeah, cabal.
You see what I'm talking about? That fool likes that. Listen, I get into the car with this fool. All that fool has is remote. God damn, bro. like, poneme un Charlie Saw, algo, cámbiame. He's like, nah,
Poneme perreo, te va a
Marco Antonio
perrear,
Solís
me
nomás.
dice.
Un perro intenso, güey.
Ponete perreo, te va a perrear, me dice.
Algo.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. I mean, that was the whole goal. The goal, I mean, like, no soccer reference when I say the whole goal, but like the goal is, like, you know what I mean, to make music for G's. You know what I mean? And I think I did a pretty solid job on this CD for you guys. Like, you know what I mean? The G's, like,
I'm waiting for it, dog. I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna be the first one to cop that shit. If I can get a hard copy, fuck it.
Yeah,
You know, I want that hard
Yes.
copy. I want to add that shit to my collection.
Yeah, and like I said, it's something that the G's will feel, and like I'm gonna be happy just to know that you guys actually show me some love. You know what I mean? Like that you.
Yeah, exactly. When you blow up, baby, don't forget about when you're in Paris talking about all that shit. You know, don't forget about Kevin, Baltazar, and me, baby. We're right here.
I mean, like I have no fucking intentions of like, you know what I mean, swerving the people that helped me out on my journey. You know, every step is, you know, appreciated. And thank you guys for like even having me on tonight, because I was just like, damn, that's fucking dope that I'm actually gonna be on something Galaxy related finally, you know.
No, but this is what it's about. Like, you know, we Kevin had an idea of tapping to what a lot of G's do.
Yeah.
And you know, he reached out and he was like, hell yeah, let's do this shit. I listened to his songs. He's like, hell yeah, let's do this shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you know what? Go ahead.
No, I said good looking out, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? It was a project that I had in mind, and Manny just helped me put it together, and it's been something different. There's a bunch of Galaxy podcasts, and I love listening to all of them. And I'll take this opportunity to give G30 a shout out as well, one of the newer Galaxy podcasts as well. We had one of their co-hosts on our show last week, and go ahead and check out their stuff. They're doing really good stuff as well. But we're just trying to give this different perspective, give a platform to Galaxy fans, because I think that's very important, because there's a lot of G's doing great things, and it's really nice to give them that platform. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and transition a little bit into Liga G. That's pretty much our PlayStation 4 Pro Clubs League, and things are starting to heat up a little bit. Teams that were at the bottom of the table winning a little winning streak, and now they're still in last place, but with a few more points, right? But real quick, we're gonna go through the standings. We have Rhino 96 and Beer Belly Boys both in first place, but Rhino, because of goal difference, they're in first. Beer Belly in second, and then third place with 18 points we have G Empire. 15 points for De La Guerra, I'm sorry, and then 15 points as well. Fifth place, Wano Park, and Angelinos holding on to that last playoff spot with 12 points. Pineapple Brats, 12 points as well. Barcelona, Borachex, and Galacticos tied with 9 points. So things are heating up. Manny, how were things this week in Liga G?
Liga G this week was pretty intense. You know, there was a lot of transfers, a lot of rumors, a lot of people coming in, going to other teams. So you had a lot of teams obviously catching breaks, not catching breaks. You know, you have Pineapples that lost a couple of players, but they signed a couple of players, but they couldn't play because of the rules. You had Beer Berries actually went on a 3-game 9 points to tie up Rhino. Rhino, I think, won 2 out of the 3 that they had. CD Angelinos back into the same spot they were in last season. They're holding the last playoff spot, which in PKs they were there with Rhino head to head. Us and Galacticos, we split a decision. We tied. We actually tied for what, 8th or 9th or something like that. So we go face to face against Borachex against, so those are 3 points that somebody has to win. So it's getting tight. It's getting tighter and tighter based in the middle of the pack. Let's just say that from 5th to last place is getting tight. The 2 top teams, which is Rhino and Beer Birdies, they're kind of like, from the last place, they're kind of like stepped away. But every game counts. You never know.
I think a team that goes in a little winning streak, it helps them a lot. Like us, we win 3 out of 4, and it gets us not in a playoff spot, but not that far away. So I think that that really helps. We brought in some extra help as well. I think both has been great for us in 3 games. I think he has like 2 goals and 3 assists, something like that. So he's been a great addition. Jesse, Rooney, they've been a big addition for us as well. Chapin, how do you feel about Galacticos in the season?
I feel like we're doing great right now, and like we're like keeping going up right now. So in the next game, we expect like a win, like always. But we're gonna work hard for that, and I hope we can get those 3 points so we can start fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, so I think that's something really important for us. But like you said, Beer Belly. I think right now, in my opinion, I think they're the team to beat. I think I know Rhino's still in first place, but just Beer Belly, like you said, 3 for 3. I think
Yeah, their
they're
offense, their
yeah.
offense is high power. To be honest, I think if you go through one through the whole board, they have pretty good offensive power. The thing is, what defense is going to step up and shut down those firepower? Because they all have good forwards, they all have good midfielders. But what defense is going to step up to the challenge and keep these guys at 0 or at 1 goal? If you do that, you give yourself a chance to win because most teams are scoring 2 goals. Um, Beverly looked good. Um, Rhino did their stuff. They came out 2 out of 3. They did their stuff to hold first spot. I'm actually, you know what? Who I'm actually looking at too? Pineapple Brats. They brought in almost 3 or 4 new players from Star Lords coming from the Xbox side to reinforce their second part of the run. So if those guys could get in there, start running, and give these Liga G players a hard time, they're right in the middle of the pack also. So I don't count them out because they Juanito did a lot of good recruiting to the people that he lost.
And then in the comments, Alex says, I think Chichadio's energy gives everyone else a boost. I don't know, man. That's why we're trying to play him at keeper.
Yeah, we try to play that for a keeper. Fuck that shit. Nah.
No, he did a really good job coming into to center back as well. I think we found more depth at center back with him playing at center back. But you know what? Now let's transition a little bit into Liga Galaxia. That's the Xbox League, and they're gonna be having a tournament, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have I think it's called a Liga Galaxy Mixed Cup, where you sign up and then there's 6 captains. They're gonna, I guess, do like a draft, and then they're gonna pick up whatever players. You cannot. I think there's a couple of rules that you cannot pick from the same player. You cannot pick from the same team like 2 players from the same team, or something like that. Like your max is two players from each team. Uh, so that's pretty cool. They're gonna mix stuff up to get to know each other a little bit more. And there's newcomers coming in. I think Chancho's coming back. So we're gonna see how mix stuff up. There was a couple of friendlies going on through yesterday, and you know what I mean. I'm saying, hey, check your change.
And then there's some guys from Galacticos going over to the Xbox League. Is that something you want to drop right now, or
Yeah, we got the approval from the president of Straight from the Stands. So there's gonna be 3 players going from Galacticos. We're gonna be affiliated with Straight from the Stands, pro clubs. So there's gonna be Kevin, Baltazar, and myself. We'll be reinforcing Straight from the Stands going into season 3. Uh, we hope to show them some good stuff. I know Kevin played with them last night. I was on being a piojo, you know.
You
So we're
the
getting our
boss.
Xbox soon. So you guys catch us on League of Galaxy coming in season 3.
and I don't know how much will help them on to get better, right? But we'll be there on time, and we'll bring the energy. We'll be fun. That for sure we'll bring, right?
Yeah, well, one thing we said from last place to last place, AK equals first place. Negative to negative equals to positive. So hopefully, that transition to pro clubs too. We ain't the best, we ain't the greatest, but one thing we are consistent and we are competitive, and we want to be in there to win. We'll show up, and hopefully,
Let's just make it clear. I just go for the pedal.
you just go for Jesse. Nomás digas Cerrote, you go for Jesse. Uh, we're just trying to get more bodies out there in League of Galaxies. So if you have a PS4, you have an Xbox, go ahead and join them. Join on the team. All the teams are great. They have a Discord. Join their Discord. It's awesome. Like it's a good experience. Get away from your comfort zone and your own friends. Go join new friends, and you're gonna love it. That's what we're doing. We had Xbox people coming to Liga G. They're joining new players, new teams, everything. We have both. I know Prodigy went to Star Lords. Uh, Egg. You had a lot of players just moved to whatever team. We have a Class Trend that left to G Empire. So don't be afraid to go out there and explore and become with new friends, with new G's.
All right, guys. Now I want to touch real quick on the Galaxy before we start wrapping it up. One of the players that you shouted out in one of your songs was Van Damme, and
Yeah.
today he announced that he's retiring from
Tired,
soccer. So what are your thoughts on Van Damme retiring from soccer?
I mean, like I think Van Damme was one of the best defenders we had in like the last few years, and it was like I mean, I'm happy for him, like that he took the decision to retire where he did. But like he's a hell of a player, bro. Like at the end of the day, and he did his thing for us. He rep for our city, and shout outs to him. You know what I mean? Like Van Damme, one of the greatest players. And it's funny because he retired on Cienfuegos' birthday too. Was it Cienfuegos' birthday today?
Yeah,
So it
that's
was like
today.
so the connections like was just crazy.
It's awesome. I think he repped us the little time that he was here.
Yeah.
He repped us the way we wanted to be repped,
Yeah.
and he had that heart.
I said in that line I said soy Van Damme en el campo defendiendo mi set. So he did defend for us. You know what I mean? He defended for our set. So I had to show him love. I loved him when he was here. Like it was dope to see him. You know what I mean? Defend, score goals for us too. He was a big guy. You know what I mean? When you see him on the field, you knew it was Van Damme. So it was pretty dope. Like Matt Love. Actually, I didn't get to buy his jersey, but it was one of the ones I really wanted. Just for his name, you know what I mean? Like Van Damme, you know what I mean? That was a killer like last name.
And I think he's one of those players who's a G. Like even though he's not in the team no more, like you'll see him still representing the Galaxy. There's a video where he's taking one of his teammates' hat because he had the wrong hat, and I think that's cool because it's
Yeah.
pretty much some players when they leave they forget it, but him is
Mhm.
like no, he's still a G, and
Yeah.
I really like that. But now
Yeah, there's
yesterday.
a there's a picture with him in Europe. I think when he went back, there were some ACD members that went out that lived close to that town that he was playing on, and he actually took a picture with him, took him out, and actually, you know what I mean. Like you said, he's a
Oh,
G because he didn't have to do all that. People forget, but he didn't.
Yeah, and
dope.
then yesterday that news with Pavon started coming out. At first confirming that it was a done deal that he's coming back to the G's. Now it seems it's still not a done deal, but it's heading the right direction. That pretty much Boca wants to let him go because he's made it clear that he doesn't want to play for them. Today his dad sent pretty much a letter saying to respect. There was like a law before that they had to pay him the same money he was making here, which is way more than what he's gonna be making over there. So I think he's just trying to find a way to get out. But Baltasar, what is your opinion about Pavon coming? Because it's rumored to be about 10 million for 50% of his rights. That number percentage could go up, especially if MLS takes care of the surgery he needs. But let's say 10 million for 50%. What's your opinion?
You know what? I'm seeing another like teams paying more than like let's say let's get an example. Cincinnati, he's paying they paying about like 15 or 18 I don't know millions for one player that we don't know what he's gonna prove to this league. We had Pavon that he already proved that he can be like a superstar right here. So in the Galaxy, come on, we're Galaxy rich fans, so we have the money. I think we can like easily pay 10 million for Pavon, and then we can have something that have been proved. You get me? So we just like I think if the Galaxy doesn't pay more than $8 million for Pavon, they making a wrong decision. They fucking up because like I know we really need these type of players on our team. That's my opinion for that.
100.
And
In
then
my opinion.
go ahead.
So if I'm a Boca fan, you're gonna tell me that I got finesse based by TTK, right? I loaned out a player that I was hoping to get 20 million. I didn't get out because of obviously because of COVID. Um, he come back. He comes back injured, and then I have to give you 600,000 because he came back. If I was a Boca fan, like what the fuck, bro? Like you didn't make no money off this guy. You didn't do nothing, and he's coming back broken. Nah, we don't want him, right? Because he already came out that he doesn't want to play there.
Yeah.
So as a Galaxy fan, you come out like, hey, I'm gonna give you 10 million for this much money or percentage, and if I can flip them, which I think they can,
They will. They
like
will.
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
We've heard somebody say like, hey, we just gotta get his ankles fixed and then he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Arquitecto.
Um, I know like the MLS has all these rules about like paying players a certain amount, which is like kind of crazy because I don't believe that like in soccer there should be rules implanted like that. You know what I mean? That's what makes our league a little bit harder to find superstars. I mean, to get superstars from other leagues because the most you can pay is what you pay Chicharito. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? You know, but at the same time, like I feel like whatever the guy wants and he should be able to get because he is a proven player on the field already. Like the Galaxy, he has proved to the Galaxy that he is the main player in our team right now as we stand. You know, we lose him, we lose a big key to our game, and it's going to take a long time before we find another player that can reach his quality. And if they're going to sell Pavon eventually somewhere down the line, you know he's going to be worth more, like double whatever the Galaxy paid. 6 million, I think, is what I heard last. Is what they paid. 6 million and 60% of the rights to Boca Junior. That sounds like a very good deal to me. And you know, and if he wanted 8 million, that's what they should have gave him. But
It's funny that you say that because I think earlier we had a meeting with the coaching staff, and not once did they ever speak about signing a new DP. They didn't talk about
why?
any of that. They talked about signing people off of TAM, people off of GAM. They said that their DP spots are already filled. So you could go whatever you want to go with on that, but they say they already have target players that they're going to go after. From my understanding, they're going to get 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, a cam, and then that's it. So our three DP spots are already filled.
Doesn't make sense.
Who are they? Chicharito, Jonah, and who else?
Yeah, and
I
it
don't
should
know.
be Pavon by right because he earned his spot there. You know what I mean? He earned that spot, and at the same time, like I said, I feel like that's one of the things that kind of like messes up our league, where we have all these like restrictions, and it shouldn't be like that. Because then, you know what I mean? If they took all that off, like I feel like, you know what I mean, we could have some of the world's best names here because this is the United.
I will be fucking trashing this whole league if they
You
take
think
that shit
so?
away. We Galaxy rich, baby. We got the AGE money. Fuck that. Yeah, we'll fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always felt that way about the MLS. It's kind of just, I feel like it's a block that we have that it kind of like stops us from like growing because nowhere else in the world kind of feels like they have a certain thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like we could have had, you know.
Yeah, I get that. But then also nowhere in the world, like a Columbus Crew can actually win the championship.
Yeah.
You have to go in the Cinderella story to fucking win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like last year did. You know what I mean? Other than that, you have your top 4 teams, and then that's it. Everybody else, you better be lucky as hell to get that cream, like that little good little bunch together. But in the MLS, you never know. You never know. Coming to playoffs, you never know.
We would have been one of those top 4 teams though, right off the bat.
Oh hell yeah, we'd be like fucking the most money spent. They'll be
exactly.
Yeah.
We were the biggest team in the MLS, whether they like it or not. And if that was the case, then we would have been still.
We still are. We're the trendsetters, baby. We're the ones that make the MLS turn around.
And then
we're the
real quick, my opinion is a little bit different, a little bit all over the place, to be honest with you. But this is my opinion about Pavon. Do I want Pavon? Yes, I've been saying it all along. He's coming back. He was gonna come back. Even everybody was starting to give their goodbyes a few months ago, and I was like, no, this guy's gonna stay with the Galaxy. So I'm happy that hopefully he does stay with the Galaxy. As long as all his legal stuff is good, I'm good with him being with the team. But this is my issue. The option to buy was $20 million. DTK said no, we're not gonna pay anything near that. They declined that, and then they started negotiating. Started at 6. Let's say it is 10 million for 50% of his rights. That's equivalent to 20 million for his full rights. So to me, it's like, are you really taking him at a good price? I think yes, because my opinion was like, I'm not paying more than 10 million, but in my mind I was like, I'm paying 10 million for his full rights, because supposedly Boca values him at 12 for 100%. So shouldn't we be getting him at a little bit less? But then again, something that Manny told me is like, hey, DTK just finessed them as well. We had him for 18 months for $600,000, and those $600,000 go back into this transaction. So it's at the end of the day, you could say that we end up winning, but I feel we had more leverage. We had way
So
more leverage.
let's say Pavon gets here. He plays 2 years with us, right? At 10 million that we bought him for 50 million for 50% of his rights, and he gives us a title, and we sell him for fucking whatever. He gets hurt, whatever the case may be. We sell him for another 10 million. Hey, fuck, we broke even and we come out with a title.
Yeah.
Did we actually lose?
No. Not at all.
Well, no,
No.
Is the
to
DT?
break even, we got to sell them at 20, because
Yeah.
that 50% of
Yeah.
that
550
goes
back.
to them. Yeah, that's. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's say your scenario is that,
Even at
and
5 million, even at
and we
5 million,
lose.
you
As
don't
long as we
lose
have a
because
title,
hey,
that's all that matters.
because your revenue based on jerseys, based on attendance, based on your all that is gonna go
A
beyond
lot
that.
higher.
What you sell,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You have, if you tell me I gamble that, fuck that, because he is 24, and there is maybe still a team that's gonna come out and get him, and for that 12 million bucks.
Yeah.
And then, so Manny, this is your chance to be the Will Forbes of Community G. So you're saying that as long as the legal stuff is good, Pavon is gonna be a G.
I'm gonna say that the Galaxy have done their homework. I'm gonna say that uh, I hope they done all that shit, and he's getting his ankles fixed, and we should know by next week if he's gonna be a G or not.
Awesome. And then,
I just know that his ankle's swollen. That's it.
and I found that interesting, swollen. Okay, and then another thing, pretty much, the season got pushed back, right? Start date is April 17. Preseason, we heard that they are pushing for March 8th. That's the hard date. That's the latest they're gonna start preseason. But they are looking to start it as early as March 1st, as long as quarantine and physicals are done. So it's really exciting to pretty much start seeing this team come together and see them on the pitch soon. Another thing that we heard today, Manny, was that the team hasn't had a lot of rumors, right? They've been keeping it down low, but they've been doing their homework and they've been working on bringing players in, right?
Yeah, the one thing that he touched on, that these are target players. These are not like, oh, we don't know. These are players that have been offered a contract already. They're just waiting to sign. I guess just the legal terms. You can say that. Um, that I know we're bringing in two defenders, two
There's
midfielders.
a player coming in to play a
There's a
specific
there,
position
there's a
that should
player
be.
that coming in specific position that's he's not there to play defensive. He's actually there to hold pace of the and be creative. So I'm gonna speculate and be that that's a cam. There's a kid, I guess, under 21 that's supposed to be coming in because that doesn't hold into the cap or whatever that shit is. Um, the more I hear Greg Vanny, the more I start believing like, hey, this was the best choice we can ever decide.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us have been wanting Julian Araujo to be the starter, and I think we could probably say that he's gonna be the starter for the
It
Galaxy.
will be.
From what there's gonna be a player coming in to back him up, and that should be getting announced pretty soon. So hopefully, yeah, like Manny said, there's they're looking to get a center back, either one or two center backs. They're looking at midfielders, defensive mid. So they said this team still has moves to be made. The question was asked to Greg that if this team has enough to compete, and he pretty much said that there's still work to be done. That this team cannot rely on five players. It's about the depth. And I think that was very important. He mentioned there's going to be a lot of games. There's qualifiers, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities, and the what they want is to have depth, right?
Correct. Yeah, and he also said that, like, right now the players are on voluntary workouts, and they're noticing what players are actually participating on their own, and you have about three or four that are showing up at the stadium and actually participating together. So he's following, like, hey, they're actually bonding, they're actually getting along, and if you follow them through their Instagrams, you can probably find out who they are. I've seen Jonah Jonah with Arajo. He's been there. I've seen the Jet out there. So it's coming to become more like a bro code or something like that. And they're doing some renovations at the stadium that's going to help them. And I think what the renovations they're doing is actually going to help the team rather than what they had before.
Yeah, I think like you said, there's a lot of stuff that he's coming to implement that there's a reason behind it. The people he's brought for a reason. So I honestly, I'm every time, like you say, every time we hear him talk, I'm like, man, this team has a potential that not in 1 or 2 years, but eventually we'll get there.
We actually somebody asked them a question to one of the assistant coach, and actually I told him, like, would this defense have an attitude or have, like, some type of like grit to it? And the coach came out like, I guarantee if this defense doesn't have an attitude, it will not play. It has to have what I have, like that grit, that fight. So that kind of, I'm like, hell yeah, shit, that's what we want.
Yeah, we need that.
Okay.
And something I found really interesting, and then I'll have you guys comment on it. Something he said is that the 3D Ps need to be your three best players every night. They need to be healthy and be on the field. And then he specifically said Jonah and Chicharito need to be healthy on the field, and Chicharito needs to be scoring goals. So to
Yeah,
me,
he
I
said
like
that.
that mentality. What do you think about it, Arquitecto?
I think like Chicharito last year was a big letdown. Um, and he definitely needs to step his game up this year. Whatever he's going through, I feel like he has to put it to the side and, you know what I mean, step up for our team because this is one of the biggest clubs in the MLS, if not the biggest club in the MLS, and he just hasn't done his part. As far as Jonah, I'm concerned, like, his health, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Can he stay healthy? Because he's definitely, every time he's on the field, he's making a difference. And whoever else it is that they're bringing in as a DP, like he better be on top of his thing. You know what I mean? And I
And
got mad love for Araujo though. Like Araujo has been one of those players that like I just feel like I was like, thank you that we have Araujo that came in through the system and is putting in work for us, and definitely like I hope he stays here for a very long time, because we need him. But at the end of the day, yes, like Chicharito needs to step his game up. He signed for 3 years. This will probably be his next year, his second year, and this is the time to prove that he is who he said he is, and prove that he is the same Chicharito from before. If he can't do that, like I don't know if there might even be a third year for him to prove it. I
you
think the
know,
Galaxy would
and,
be able to get rid of him.
and
Like
that's something that Greg Vanny actually touched in the meeting. Also, he talked about the two TP spot. He didn't talk about the third one
yeah,
because I guess the third
Ankle
one was always
swollen. That's all
available.
that's happening. There's ankle swollen.
He was always available, and he said that his ankle was
yeah,
swollen. That's all we heard. But he actually talked about that he's bringing a defensive midfielder, a targeted defensive
okay,
midfielder that's there and a box to box guy. So if Jonah is not on
yeah.
his game, I think that he's bringing in somebody to push Jonah to be in his game every day. If not, I think he
Yeah, and
might
then
not.
that's exactly what they need. Well, I felt like last year's problem. To be honest with you, I didn't feel like it was Bingham's fault. at the end of the day. Like I had really had no problem with Bingham. Like he was actually like trying, but his defense was not there. You know what I mean? The defense was completely like not there. You know, like they brought the Pooh was cool, you know, but he's young. You know, he doesn't have the experience
He
in
was a
MLS.
forward.
Like
He was a forward converted to center back. So you know you
did you
need a
see what
center
I
back
mean?
that can lead
Like
him.
yeah, exactly. So he was cool while it lasted for a little bit because he did his thing for a few games, but then like you could start to see where his flaws are, you know, and maybe he was pushing too forward or maybe he was just too young. But they need to bring an experienced center back to the team and to help out in the back, you know. And as much as I like Giancarlo Gonzalez también, like he's a good player, but he has not proven his worth. Like at the end of the day, like I felt like the Galaxy should have gotten rid of Gonzalez and kept Polenta because Polenta was actually a lot more better. And I don't know what happened there, whose decision that was. And that kind of like ticked me off when I heard Polenta was gone over Giancarlo. Like, you know what I mean? Giancarlo is sick, but he is not Polenta. Like, Polenta was putting in a lot more work for us. And whatever happened there happened. But at the end of the day, we need center backs. You know, Filcher as a left back was really good too for us, but you know what I mean. His age has already, you know what I mean. He's done.
I think he was just too busy singing.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a question for Chapins. If you could tell the Galaxy one thing that you want out of this team coming up, what is one thing that you want to see on the field?
Huevos.
Ah, huevos.
I was thinking the same
Esto.
thing.
Así era. ¿Qué grande los querés? Así,
Como
así,
los que te
así.
enseñé, Cerote. ¿Te
Oh
acuerdas?
my God. Mándame la foto para verlos otra vez. ¿Peludos o sin pelo?
Yeah.
But you know what? I think talking about
Yeah.
that, the mentality of the team, I think it's gonna change. I think the culture is gonna change with Greg coming in, the coaching staff that he's bringing in. I feel that the Galaxy were very soft at some point, and now all that's gonna change. So I'm really excited to see the team starting when they start practicing again, be able to see preseason and then be able to see them play again. Honestly, that's something I'm really looking forward to. But now that we're gonna start wrapping it up, but for Arquitecto, for you to be like, okay, you know what, Greg Vanny had a good, successful first year. What has to happen? Like, where do we have to finish on the standings, or what needs to happen for you to be able to say, okay, Greg coming in was a big help and he had a successful first year?
He has to get us into CONCACAF. We have to be able to compete for that at least. You know what I mean? I feel like we need to get back into, you know what I mean, those
What year?
tournaments.
First
Even
year or
if
second year?
this year. We need to get in this year.
I think that's tough. I think that's tough.
I think we need to get into CONCACAF at least this year. Like if we don't get a title shot this year, I want to see at least the Galaxy play CONCACAF. You know what I mean? Because maybe we can even take that. You know, and like I said, he still has a lot of work to do. But yeah, maybe second year would be even it'll be good. But
I can see us in champions in second season once he gets more his players in.
Yeah, in his squad.
Like right now he has about 7 spots and a couple other people with their contracts. But I think second season, if he could get us in CCL, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's the only thing like I'm aiming for when it comes to the Galaxy. Like I want to see them in the CONCACAF again. We need to get in that tournament.
We're going to TJ or what? We're going to TJ. They play him?
Yeah,
Oh, imagine going to Central America. Let's say we had to play, let's say in Guatemala, whatever.
Chapín va a dar su primo para que duerma ahí yo.
No, Cerote, allá está la casa, Cerote.
Mira, dame la llave, papá. Vamos con todo. Tomar gallos.
That's like my biggest hope, like, you know what I mean, and getting back into CONCACAF, because that's a tournament that like I feel like we need to be in, you know,
every year.
I don't like taking, oh, we're not going to CONCACAF this year. Fuck that. We need to get into CONCACAF.
There's a new format now, so hopefully we can get in there every year.
Yeah, and well, whatever it is, we need to just get in, like, you know.
Play that shit, right?
Yeah.
Play that, like, yeah, because
for my opinion, I think playoffs is good. If he's in
Yeah.
there in the playoffs, whether it's top four, bottom four, I don't care. Playoffs is still good. If he puts us in competitive, a team out there every Sunday or every Saturday, I'm good with that.
I miss
All
those
right.
Tuesday, Wednesday games. That's why I want CONCACAF back. you know, I need to go back to those Tuesday, Wednesdays. You know.
All right, guys. So we're gonna start wrapping it up. We've been going over an hour and a half. Chapin, where could people find you on social media?
eBay.
Nah, I don't sell anything on eBay, bro. But they can find me on in Instagram like at El Chapin, and on Twitter like at El Chapin too.
And then
I
catch him
will.
on Twitch when he's holding down the on right back, best right back on the in the league, right? And then
Danny Alves, Danny Chapin,
Arquitecto, what about you? Where could people find you on social media? And
and
then
when
where
your
could
son's
You
gonna
can find
drop?
me. You can find me on all media platforms under Arquitecto Verbal. I know like sometimes that shit is hard to spell, but you know what I mean. It's Arquitecto Verbal. You know, everywhere: iTunes, Google Play, Pandora, Tidal, Spotify, whatever you use. If you guys are interested in the music, you guys like it, go check it out. You know, this CD for the Galaxy is I'm aiming for April. So when we have the home opener, it'll be out. So just keep an eye out for
and
that.
before we let you go, I meant to ask you earlier, but I didn't. Where does the name Arquitecto Verbal come from? What inspired the name?
Oh well, the name comes back to like writing music. You know, that's what I do. Soy un arquitecto verbal. I'm a verbal architect. I write music. I rap music. So that's where it basically comes from. And before that, my name was in English. It was verbal architect, but I decided to go with arquitecto verbal because I wanted just to focus more on the Latino community because I did a lot of Spanish music. So I felt like I have to go with the Spanish more than I have to go with the English name. So I stuck to Arquitecto at the end of the day.
Mm,
Oh, so hey, let us know when that shit drop. I'm gonna be the first one to buy that shit.
Got you.
Me too,
And
though.
and then Manny, what about you? Where could people catch you on the socials?
Socials, you can find me on Twitter at Manny2_G. And if you want to catch me on FIFA 21, you can catch me on PS4 with the Galacticos, or you can catch me on Straight from the Stands Pro Club on Liga Galaxia. Bam!
And then you guys could catch us at community_G, and then with me Kevin U_10 on Twitter and Instagram. And then real quick, we for those that are still on, we'll probably hang out on Zoom for a bit with Chapin and Manny, and maybe Arquitecto hangs out for
You
a
want
bit.
that?
So if you guys want that information, go ahead and let us know on Twitter, and I could give you guys the information. So if you stop by and
Also, I'm gonna say like if you guys have a hustle, if you guys have a talent, or you guys just want to be on community, hit us up, man. Don't worry about it. We can just come on and shoot the shit, talk Galaxy. This is what it's about. This is your guys' platform. This is for us to get to know you guys. And if you guys,
One more thing. Shout out to Manny. Like, thanks, Manny. Like, you brought me to Proclus, bro, and to the Galaxy Outlets
me hagas llorar, cerote.
support group. Nah, come mierda. Espérate. Se enamora rápido, ¿ah?
Wait for it to the after party.
Shout out to you, bro. Nah, because I wanna let them, everyone know that thank you, bro, for bringing me in, and thanks to the outlets and to pro clubs that like I've been knowing a lot of people. You get me? And right now that I know Arquitecto too, like welcome to the family G. Hope we can have a good friendship and everything.
Appreciate it.
Huh?
Ya,
Thanks so
ya está el
to
12
all.
listo, loco. Ya está el 12 frío. Pa'
Cuando
tomar.
quiera.
And then also, always check out all the other Galaxy podcasts. Like I mentioned, G30. They had Josh Drack, the Player Galaxy drafted. So go check out the episode. Check Straight from the Stands on Mondays.
Nag
Corner of the
Boys,
Galaxy, Nag Boys, the boys
Straight from the
at Rise
Stands,
Squadcast, Straight from the Stands, and then you'll catch us in the chat as well.
Simply
Cause
Soccer. Shit,
yeah,
there's a lot of us, man. There's a lot of us.
and so always pretty much go check them out as well. No one gets paid, like none of us get paid for this stuff, so your support is always
We
great.
appreciate you guys. We appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, so thank you for being with us, and then make sure if you guys want that Zoom information, let us know on Twitter. We'll get that going to you. But yeah, thank you for being with us, and then we'll catch you next week.
No doubt.
All right, we're pretty much off.
Peace up.
Órale.
Ya,